Hello, and welcome to AI News You Should Know About for the week of October 24th. I'm your host, Ashley Coffey.
And I'm Daniel Hill. Every week, in about 15 minutes, we cover the top AI news stories that you need to know about. This week, we'll be talking about OpenAI launching a browser called ChatGPT Atlas. We'll talk about Reddit suing Perplexity for large scale data scraping that Perplexity has been using to train its data models. We'll talk about Meta letting go of 600 employees in its AI group, and Amazon unveiling AI smart glasses for its delivery drivers.
We'll be covering all of that on our show today, but first, here's a quick word from our sponsors. Welcome back. Let's dive in. Our top story this week, OpenAI enters the browser wars and introduces ChatGPT Atlas, a new browser complete with sidebar assistance, task automation mode, and cross-device memory sync. This is huge. I've been waiting for this to come out for quite some time, so let's chat about it with a little bit. So, day before yesterday, OpenAI, which owns ChatGPT, launched a new browser. It's only available for download for Mac OS currently, and what they're saying via their press release is that with Atlas, ChatGPT can come with you anywhere across the web, helping you in the window right where you are, understanding what you're trying to do, and completing tasks for you, all without copying and pasting or leaving the page. Your ChatGPT memory is built in, so conversations can draw on those past chats and details to help you get new things done. I think this is pretty cool. What are your thoughts, Daniel?
Well, first, as a Windows user, I'm disappointed that I don't have access to it. It feels like a bit of an exclusive club that I'm still not in. We saw this with Sora. We saw this with other things coming to Apple devices only. It's a little frustrating sometimes. But having said that, I am curious to see what this experience is like because I know it builds off the data that ChatGPT already has about you. So if you've been using ChatGPT for the past couple of years, or what, 3 years that since it's been
Mhm.
launched now, it knows a lot about you and it can use that data to help perform tasks and do other things. Having said that, if you don't want ChatGPT having all your data, it's about to have a lot more, right? Because now it's going to be able to see your browsing history as well. So, what are your thoughts?
Things are converging so fast, Daniel, like so fast. And you and I both know it, but like the faster we go, the more that I'm having whiplash. And on that note, I'm glad that it's here. I don't think society at large understands the full capabilities of what's possible with it yet. So I do think they're leaning into some of the early adopter people that are typically going to be Mac users to kind of test it out and get some feedback. I've been using Perplexity's Comet because they were first to market with the Agentic browser. And we'll talk a little bit more for that, the tip today, but we'll see what happens and how it's received. But so far, so good. All right. So next up, Reddit sues Perplexity AI for alleged large-scale data scraping to train its models. Woo, this is coming from The Verge. So Reddit is suing Perplexity and three data scraping service providers to stop the industrial-scale unlawful circumvention of data protections by a group of bad actors who will stop at nothing to get their hands on valuable copyrighted content on Reddit. So the company equates the data scraping companies, they're named SERP API, Oxy Labs, and AWM Proxy, to quote, would be bank robbers who, quote, know they cannot get into the bank vault, break into the armored truck carrying the cash instead. So Reddit alleges that Perplexity is a customer of at least one of the data scraping companies, saying that it will apparently do anything to get the Reddit data and it desperately needs it to fuel its answer engine. That is, anything other than enter into agreement with Reddit directly, as some of its competitors have done. This is something that everyone should keep in mind as we are in the wild west of data ownership, and this is happening as we speak. Data scraping companies are scraping data like there's no business, and there aren't a lot of policy and legislations to protect us and our content. So I think this is a good case that's going to be brought. It's going to be interesting to see how it plays out because tech and politics, they're interweaved now. They're not separate. What are your thoughts, Daniel?
This one says a lot of how valuable Reddit's data is. And if you don't spend time on Reddit, you've never really gone down that rabbit hole, that's totally fine. But there is a wealth of data from actual people who have struggled with a computer problem or a phone problem or some other problem, and they've written about it on Reddit, and you can find that data easily. Having said that, if these AI companies are scraping that data from Reddit, it says they recognize how valuable it is too. And in the article that we'll link to in the show notes, Reddit sent a cease and desist to Perplexity saying, stop scraping Reddit data. And Perplexity said, we're not using Reddit content data. But then it turned out the volume of Reddit citations on Perplexity increased after they said that, meaning
Really?
they Perplexity was acting like they were not using Reddit data, but when you looked at the data that they had, significantly larger amounts of answers were coming from Reddit than they were previously. So it even goes on to say Reddit created a post that could only be crawled by Google, and within hours, Perplexity produced the contents of that post. The only way Perplexity could have obtained that Reddit content and then used it in its answer engine is if it or the other three companies that you mentioned earlier scraped Google's information for that Reddit content, and then Perplexity quickly incorporated that data into its answer engine. That seems like an extra step. They probably went right to Reddit. But the point is, this data Reddit has is valuable, and these companies are not paying for it. They're saying, oh, well, we could just take it. Who's going to stop us? And this is Reddit's way of fighting back against that.
Yeah, kind of reminds me of back in the day being a photographer and seeing my photos everywhere, and people taking it and being like, "Well, what am I gonna do?" Kind of jokes on everyone because now all of our stuff is at risk. Okay, so we're gonna take a
Yeah,
quick
absolutely.
break, but when we come back, we'll be talking about Meta slashes 600 jobs in its AI operations, and Amazon unveils AI smart glasses for its delivery drivers.
Welcome back. Let's continue with our next story. Meta has announced that they are slashing 600 jobs in its AI operations group. This is really interesting because Meta has been at the forefront of what's happening with AI, but not exactly successfully. They've spent a lot of money recently to hire more AI engineers and developers away from other companies offering them large salaries. The chief AI officer from Meta said, quote, by reducing the size of our team, fewer conversations will be required to make a decision, and each person will be more load bearing and have more scope and impact, end quote. This is speaking to me that Meta has thrown a lot of money at this problem, but does not see the output that they're hoping to. However, if you are looking for a job and you want to focus on AI because you think that's going to help you get a job in the future, the fact that such a large player in the AI space is laying off so many people at a time when they have trillions in the bank is a very concerning thing for the job market in the future. Mark Zuckerberg had mentioned earlier that the company's AI efforts weren't leading in the way that they needed to experience breakthroughs or improved performance. Ashley, what do you think?
Here's my thoughts here. Oh my gosh. So I'm really glad you picked this because we have been talking consistently about this AI bubble that we're kind of in. And I think this is a really big indication of it. It's kind of starting, but it's also, we have to think about lagging indicators and how Meta and a lot of other companies overhired right after COVID and during all of these AI rush, AI boom. And we got to remember ChatGPT came out November 30th of 2022, so 3 years. And I think it's catching up to them now. But the thing is, we all know Meta has enough money to do whatever they want. So it's about priority. I do think it's good to limit teams so they don't have to have as many conversations. But saying that they're going to make everyone more load bearing, I would hate to be an employee and hearing that because I know how hard Meta employees are worked. So to hear that it's going to increase, I hope they're getting paid appropriately. We'll see what happens, but I'm sure it's not the first, not the last.
Yes, absolutely. Let's go on to our last story. Amazon and unveiling AI smart glasses for its delivery drivers. The idea here is that the glasses will give delivery drivers a hands-free experience so they don't have to look at their phone. They don't have to look at the package they're delivering. They can concentrate on their surroundings, where they're going, and delivering the package. Amazon is saying the glasses will allow drivers to scan the packages, follow turn by turn walking directions, and capture proof of delivery, all without using their phones. The plan here is that this will shave time off each delivery by giving the drivers all the information that they need in a heads up display way, looking through the glasses so that they don't have to be pulling out their phone every few seconds. The glasses will be paired with a controller in the vest so they can do what they need to still, swap out the batteries with a extra battery and have a dedicated emergency button. And this is the most important part. They will support prescription lenses and traditional lenses that automatically adjust to sunlight to become sunglasses. I think this is really smart. And this is a great use of technology to make people's lives better so they stare at their phones less. Ashley, what do you think?
I'm the complete opposite here. I do not like it, and here's why. I've read and I know for a fact that Amazon is already using technology in their vans that does eye tracking for their drivers. There's a lot of biometric data harvesting from employees that are Amazon employees that really just go beyond traditional. So what I hear here is surveillance. I hear data tracking. I hear keeping everything in a closed ecosystems. It sounds like they're trying to remove the ability altogether for an employee to even interact with their phone throughout the day. 'Cause that's really probably what the issue is like, phone time and little bits and pieces here and there. And if they're going to put it into glasses, I highly doubt they're going to let people take that off throughout the day. So I just worry like, one, what's the agency of someone's data if they're an employee? Two, like the data tracking. Let's say I have an astigmatism and it's telling my employer that I'm not paying attention when I'm driving, but really it's maybe not calibrated correctly to accommodate for that potential disability. So there's some things that I hope Amazon is taking into account before they roll this out. I just hear a lot of red flags, but I also see the side of optimization and efficiency. But it's like one of those expectations versus reality. I think there might be two different things here.
Those are great callouts. That is it for our AI news that you should know about this week. And now, Ashley's AI tip of the week.
All right, buckle up, everyone, because I want you to learn about Agentic AI. So, with the new Atlas browser that was launched by ChatGPT this week, get familiar with Agentic AI. Agentic AI is the ability for an AI to perform tasks for you without you having to click around. So, the beauty of this new AI tool with ChatGPT's Atlas is that everything stays in one place. It's able to go throughout all of your memories and understand the nuanced detail about you, your job, your life, all those things so that you don't have to hop do the tool hopping throughout the day where you're going to 10 different tools to do one thing. So I encourage everyone to explore with this new tool that's free, currently only available for download on macOS users, but start to become more comfortable and remember that you are giving permission for AI to do something and it still requires human in the loop processes. AI can still make mistakes. So we should not be at a point yet where we're relying on it entirely. So I encourage everyone to explore what that looks like for them and just start with just one task so you don't get overwhelmed. That's my tip.
Love it. You can find links to everything we've discussed in the show notes, and you can also connect with us on social media. We'd love to hear what you think of the show and how we can make it better. If you can, please go on Apple Podcasts and leave a review of the show. Look for AI news that you should know about.
And thank you, our listeners, for listening to today's episode of AI News That You Should Know About. Don't forget to like and subscribe to be notified when new episodes go live. We have a YouTube channel. If you want to watch the video versions of this episode, head on over there, and we've got a lot of good stuff there. Drop a comment and let us know what you think. We're always looking on ways to make the show better for you, our listener. But if you want more tech talk, you can find me on Instagram at Ashley R. Coffee. And you can find my other podcasts, Coffee and Code, on Apple Music, YouTube, Spotify, and wherever you get your podcasts. But if you're interested in taking AI to the next level and would love a custom GPT or tech stack automation assessment, reach out to me. I run Coffee and Consult, a local technology consulting firm dedicated to helping small and medium sized businesses leverage technology for efficiency. And I'd love to hear from you.
Thank you so much for listening, and come back next week for more AI news that you should know about.